let's see. Who all will pop in the room today? It would be nice to find out. Just starting out, getting set up. And today's topic will be trying to live a happy and fruitful, positive, spiritual well-being while other people could potentially try to make that negative for you. How's it going, Crystal? It is good to see you. Merry meet and bright blessings. Hi, Patricia. How are you? Good to see you. Yamanu, how are you? Mitch, Mary. It's good to see everybody here. Angie S., it is good to see you. And just waiting for the room to get a little bit fuller here before we actually get started. Mary at Sea. Hi, Mary. How are you doing? In kitchen, can only type a bit for now, but listening. So Mary just letting us know that she is there. And hi, Omira. How are you doing? Good morning, everybody. It is good to see you. And I don't know, there's been several things that have prompted this topic today. I'm feeling pretty good. My arm hurts a little bit, but we still haven't got to the bottom of that yet. Just had the test ran, but the results will be in this week, and I'll get to find out what's going on there, and maybe they can do something about it. Thank you. Thank you, Angie. That's very sweet of you. Recovering from a sore and swollen left foot. What happened to you? It's been storming off and on for days. I love the storms, though. We really need that here in Texas, that's for sure. I have a staff, and that sun and storm solution charging still. That's cool. Yeah, I did that video regarding the storm and sun, creating a cleanser and purifier as well as a charger for you and for whatever your need is. But the topic today is trying to be spiritual and with a lot of negative people around you. Trying to live a happy and spiritual life when other people around you could tend to be negative. And there are several different things that actually provoke this topic today. Not just of my own situations, but other people asking me questions that lets me know that they may be going through a similar situation right now. And a lot of people, it seems. Lately it seems that you could be as sweet and as kind as you want to be. And even if somebody is asking you a favor and you're trying to grant them that favor, then they can come off being a bit of an ass to you, if you know what I'm saying. And, that is prompted by a situation recently happening. I was asked to do a favor. When I stepped forward to do so, then I was more or less interviewed by a Gestapo to see if I would fit the part of being able to help them or not with that which they're wanting me to do. And yes, I hadn't heard from any of these people for a long time, but after a year they stepped forward asking me to do a filming, to do a show, and all of this, and they came off negative to me right off the gate. I felt like I was being drilled to see if I would fit the part of being able to help them or not. even questioning my religion, them questioning my ability within paganism, when I have 200 plus shows right here as my repertoire. You know what I mean? They're wanting my popularity. They're wanting my my face, my work that I do here, but they're going to question me as to whether I could fill this part or not, and it upset me really bad. This just happened last night, and I had already started by doing like 8 hours of work on this. When they came forward, I was going to jump right in and put both foot forward to give them what they wanted because they needed the favor. And then after that, I found out that I was going to be drilled and interviewed to see if I could fit the part or not. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Y'all came to me. It is my face that you're wanting. You're wanting my audiences. You're wanting me to advertise for you on my show. You're wanting me to make an appearance and do what I do best. And you're going to waylay me with a bunch of questions to find out if my credentials are good or not. Anyway, that really ticked me off. And then there has been other people that have approached me indicating that they're having a similar state of negativity, feeling like people are trying to tell them how to live their religion when they're trying to be lighthearted and airy, and says herself that she can tend to be a little airy-fairy, and I think I know what that means. Lighthearted, fluffy, happy-go-lucky and all of that. But then people want to reprimand her for that as how she feels. And this was a recent message given to me. And so I thought, what a good topic. People are feeling a little repressed, chastised, made to feel negative by other people when they're trying to fulfill and live a good and positive lifestyle within their religion. How's it going, Cindy Lou? It's good to see you. I'm glad that you could join us this morning, and it was nice talking to you earlier. But yeah, people are trying to live a happy and positive lifestyle while they are being repressed or made to feel negative, and that's what today's topic is. These pillars over here are not real. If they were, it'd be a little silly for me to put them on the bed and right next to a bunch of pillows now, wouldn't it? These candles over here to my left, those are real, and they're on a tabletop. But anyway, yes, it was good to see you and talk to you, Cindy Lou. It's been a little bit since I got to talk to you, I guess. So much going on, but a lot of it in the realm of negativity to do with other people, I'm finding. Mars is opposing Saturn right now. Tomorrow is the peak, and it is all about what you just said. So, LOL. Good topic for today, huh? Mary. It seems like I chose the right topic on the right day if it's fixing to start ending. People having to fight to prove themselves to other people even though they shouldn't have to. Well, you don't have to prove yourself. That's true. I didn't feel that I had to. Probably shouldn't have let them upset me as much as they did, but here they were asking me for a favor and then turning around 8 hours after me already doing some filming and stuff like that. Them coming in and acting like the Gestapo is going to interview me, that kind of pissed me off. It was time for me to say, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I'm going to have to refrain from doing this favor for you. And I'm sorry, I'm bullheaded, I'm stubborn. If someone is going to make me feel anything other than positive within my spiritual place, and my spiritual place goes about 2 feet around me all the way around. if anybody is going to make, and no matter where I'm at, by the way, if somebody's going to make me feel negative within my spiritual place, I'm going to do something about it. Or prevent myself from delivering myself up and into the lion's den when I don't have to. You know, and you're right, it would be stealing your power, because when people steal your happiness or your confidence in yourself, they are trying to steal your power. Not saying that they will accomplish such, but it is a bit the same. You know, it is stealing your power or trying to do so if you let them. And I'm not going to do that. And it's not just me. Like I said, it's other people. And the topic here is really about anyone or everyone being who they are, fulfilling their spiritual needs, and being within a spiritual place wherever they are, whenever they are. And if anyone ever challenges that, what one should do. How can one surpass that? And that is quite simply, don't let yourself be caught up in that place if it's anything other than spiritual for you. You know, I mean, I love my life. I love me. I feel happy about myself. I've been having some health issues lately, but I still love life. I still love my spirituality. I still love being at one with you guys. And if I let people drain that away, that's the same as letting them win and taking everything that I have built up, everything that I feel about me, everything I feel about religion. And that's something that one just can't do. So being in other groups or covenants when they make you feel negative. My answer to this person is that was asking me the question, if you feel a little bit happy and flighty, and you go about things in the way you love to do them, and you feel that you're being reprimanded by other people that have been in the group for a long time, that they're treating you as though you're a little bit airy-fairy and whatnot, you know, it is far better to be solitary and practice your religion in your own way than to be among other people and chastised and told that basically you're imbalanced or not at a good place enough to where you should be able to open your mouth. If you are having this done to you, then you're in a bad place and that you need to change it. I'm not saying that this person is in this kind of a bad place, but from the topic, it seems like she's not where she wants to be right now. And so the ultimate answer here would be to change it. Do what makes you feel right, even if it's being alone. Because, you know, if you can draw up a synonymous vibration with the earth, with the forces around you, with the higher power, the guardians of the watchtower, if you can obtain that vibration today, just with it being you and the forces that being, then you've done a lot today, because the world represses us enough and causes enough negative energy around us to where sometimes we just don't want to practice at all. But likewise, whenever you are going in around a bunch of other people, then you have to vibrate with them likewise on the same level. And when you have 1, 2, 3, 13 or 25 people aside of yourself, it gets more and more complicated as it is, and trying to be at one in that circle with everything that exists in it, you know. But it has to happen for you to actually work this magic, to do what it is that you actually drew together for in the first place, you know. So it can be a little difficult. And bugs. I'm sorry. Ooh, bugs. I don't get it. Let's see. Feeling much better than before. Certainly stand up for yourself. That's great, Yamanu. Talking to other people in the room. Let's see. Unfortunately, a fight in the dark attacks bugs. A light in the dark attracts bugs. I'm sorry. I wasn't reading that good. And the same as this bedhead, my brains are just as scrambled. But yeah, I mean, generally, you can attract a lot of negativity within your circle by the outside perimeter. A lot of negative already tries to come in and intervene on whatever it is that you're trying to do anyway. You know, so it can be a bit complicated. Basically, you know, if you're not happy being in a circle with a bunch of other people, or right now, maybe just right now, they're stepping on your toes and trying to make you feel less than what you feel that you are, then it's time to step away, take a break, some time to yourself, and no one can condemn you for that. I haven't met any negativity yet on this path. My family are mostly spiritual anyway, which is really good. But do realize that it's going to happen, and don't get caught off guard. Don't let it lose sight of who you are, and don't let it challenge you to a point to where you feel that you have to defend yourself to them, because the best answer here is, I'm sorry, I have things to do and I must be on my way. I mean, and that's the best way you can undertake this when they are getting on your nerves. And, you know, I went solitary. Cindy says, I'm solitary for that reason. And I went solitary not because there was a lot of negative people within my own covenant or group, because I could control that, you know, to a large degree. I mean, it was my covenant. And I could say, okay, yeah, we're not doing this, or whatever. And I could send them home, or whatever I felt that I needed to do, put them in timeout, you know. Okay, but it's the fact that there are so many out there, and it can show itself in so many different ways. People thinking that they know more than you, people expressing to you that you need to prove yourself because they've never talked to you before, or whatever. And you know, you don't have to do that. That's a game to me. That is playing a game, and I don't play. I am who I am. I don't give a shit who knows it. I don't care who believes it. You know, it's not that important. You know, if someone is blessed enough to have me within their presence, and this is the way we should all look at it. You know, if someone is blessed enough to have me within their presence for enough time to where they can know me for who I am and the heart that I have, then indeed they are a wise person and well in their choices. And at that point, they are blessed enough to also obtain a bit of knowledge and wisdom from me, the same as I can from them, because they actually allow me to do that without ticking me off. Anyway, I left my coven because a member cast it on all of us, even the priest and priestess. That would be a pretty good reason to go. A lot of drama within a coven is not wanted. And if you find that in one of the members, chances are you can find that in a lot of the members. And so basically it's time for you to get somewhere and find something that makes you feel good about yourself. And there's enough out there. I mean, or you could begin your own little group, you know, and it doesn't have to be a covenant. I've never been in any coven or group. I only know astrology for 20 plus years. And I don't think that you're dumb to anything about Wicca or other than astrology. I think that it's a natural religion, and basically you have it's a lot of common sense. And I think you probably know a lot more than you think you do, Mary. But if you say so. And thank you so much. I appreciate the vote of confidence on my wisdom. I feel that there is a lot to do with just knowledge and wisdom. I mean, plain and simple. And you know, to be pagan, you can simply be of the heath. I mean, of the earth, of nature, of the forest, because that's what it originally meant. And doing things in such an old way that is synonymous with that. You know, and you don't have to justify that to anyone. You are who you are. And I love you guys too. I love talking to you. I look forward to it so much. Because when I go through an upsetting time, an upsetting week, or a situation, then I can come here, I can talk to you guys, and I can give you all that is going on with me and tell you how I feel about it. And hopefully at the same time teach people, you know, what it is there is to be learned. You know, I have to run. Anyway, it was good to see you, Cindy, and join us again by all means. And it was good having you here for the time that you were. But yeah, basically, you know, you have to be you. People cannot challenge you on who you are. I mean, your God could be the silver dollar, you know, and no one can tell you that that's right or wrong. That is why so many of us make our way out of Christianity and into the pagan religion, is so that we can be happy, be free, talk about the things that we want to talk about, and not be judged for it. Okay, but then when we start getting that same judgment from the people within the religion that you sought out for this peace and tranquility, this home that you needed so desperately, then it becomes other than home for you. And then it's left to just you and your God system, or you and the few that may remain that you can be within the same circle with, or the same group in. And Yamanu says, often reminds me that Lady Leeanna often reminds me that we are all only able to study the given subject in the vastness of the esoteric arcane. And I do my best to remind you that basically, you know, there is so much out there to learn, even when you stem to the past, you know, to get that knowledge and wisdom. I mean, that we can't know everything. And that's why we actually get with other people, so that we can find that happiness, so that we could exchange that knowledge and wisdom, because we by no means can know everything. We can't. We be happy in the fact that, well, there are other people within your same area, which would be paganism in this particular cause, but they have studied, say, the runes when you've studied the tarot cards, or they've studied, let's say, crap. And have you ever drawn a blank and didn't know where the hell it came from? Hi, Emma. It's good to see you, and welcome to the show. It is good to see you talking to us on this here today. Yeah, you did. And welcome to our live stream. I've known Emma for a couple of good years now. She's followed the show since, I think, the beginning. And it is good to be at one with you and on the live streams here today. Let's see. And let's see. Masha Moon. Hi, Lady Leeanna. I finally changed my screen name. It's Angie S. coming in under the veils, under a new facade. Or not a facade. Another... Let's say another aspect of yourself coming through within the name. There we go. Let's see. Yes, having all kinds of brain matter here going awry. Anyway, so back on topic here. Basically, if you cannot be happy within the realm that you are within, then it's time to make drastic changes. Because you're religion, your spirituality, it's all about being at home. It's about being able to withstand it enough to where it'll carry through the rest of your life. It's about being empowered in yourself. And if someone is trying to snuff that out by challenging you or to convince you that you're less than what you are, is trying to chastise you or reprimand you, then you're not given the freedom that's actually needed within spirituality to grow. And so there we have a big problem. Especially if they're asking you to do a favor for them within spirituality, and then they rise up to challenge you to see if you fit their criteria of someone who should do this favor for them. And so really, I mean, it's enough to really want to tick you off. So you hold your composure, you do what's right, and you say, okay, you know, I have to be at one with myself. I have to be at one with my God system. I have to be at one with the circle that I cast. And I have to vibrate at a certain level to where I know I'm doing right and I'm going to fulfill the task that I set down here for. And if there are other people that are around that are putting a damper on this, then obviously the right choice would be to step away and catch a breath of air, or take a good lengthy time out until I gather myself and until they can think about what perhaps they've done to really, you know, put a damper on you. And a lot of groups, unfortunately, today, they like to rule too much with an iron fist, where it's all supposed to be met with lightheartedness, celebration, and gaiety. And that's my take on the matter. Yamanu says it takes 3 points to make an enclosed space, and a fourth, and you have the realm of manifestation, and so being able to see any given thing from multiple perspectives naturally makes you better informed. And it does. You have to stand in the place of the people that you feel are dampening your space, or that you're having to defend yourself from. Hey Anthony, how are you doing? It's good to see you. But yes, you have to really do one thing, and that is to live your spiritual lifestyle in the way that it makes you happy. Otherwise, there's a big problem with it. I know I've already said this a million times, but again, thank you so much for what you do. You're a wonderful teacher. And thank you guys for telling me that and making me feel better whenever we go through hard times or whatever. I do my best to try to bring the best of information to the people that are here, you know, that want to take that information. Unfortunately, in this day and age, even on my channel, I get pagan trolls. People that say that they're within paganism, but they don't just simply tell you they disagree with you, which would be quite acceptable. You know, you can take 5 people and put them in one room from paganism, and you're going to get 4 different pathways or 4 different systems of belief when you just chose them randomly. And that's alright. It's alright for them to disagree with each other or feel a different way about it or go about things in a different way, direction, or fashion. You know, but when they say things just to hurt you, which are needless, you know, then that's when they're just trolling you. Oh no, you're all right. Emma, I always encourage people to say as much as they can and communicate and chat by all means. I mean, we're here to be at one with each other. Live chat jitter, hyper excitement. And Emma Jane is definitely a hyper person with energy, but it's always such a really good energy. Emma Jane Glasgow, which you're seeing right here, has been one of my oldest subscribers to my show. And she's, I guess I know a lot about her just from what she's typed. A very sweet lady, very energetic, happy, very humble. I mean, she doesn't come in like a bull in a china closet, trying to tell you how things are, but she wants to be at one with you, and she wants you to accept her, and she accepts you wholeheartedly. So I love her to death. She's a good person. I haven't heard from her a while, and I wondered about that. I mean, because I did notice your energy going, Emma. But you're a sweetheart, and it's good to have you back. All of you guys, I mean, I couldn't think of a better bunch of people to sit here and be at one with than you guys here. And that's why I quit doing teaching in real life. Because there was so much in the way of people and their negativity that I felt I needed a break. And the students that I had here in real life were also around me constantly. I mean, and they're good people. I don't want to down them or anything. They were really good people, but I had them lounging around my house, laying around my house, eating out of my cabinets 24/7. And, people weren't coming into my business because there were people laying around my shop all the time. I couldn't do my work, and people thought because there were cars here, I was already busy. So I was losing my business having them around all the time. I needed space, so I quit doing the teaching in real life thing. I quit holding my covenants, my meetings, and all of that. And it was good. It was good that I made that choice. I got some private and personal space. And after a while, I got lonely. I went to being a solitary because I needed to be solitary for the time that I was. But afterwards, I got lonely. I wanted to talk to other pagans, and so I got online. And this has been so far a really, really good medium for that. That's why I did this. And it's been really good for me. And I can say hi and I love you and goodbye and go take a nap or whatever I want to do without people being around here or being obligated to meet at any particular place or at any particular time or whatever. I can do what I want. And this works for me. So basically, I mean, this has been a good alternate. Emma says, I've been busy with life in my path. Gonna be a second degree witch soon. Cool. I'm glad that you've been happy and that you've been fulfilling your goals. And you're getting there, girl. You are getting there. And let's see. Yamanu says it's Lady Leeanna, if you need her attention, if she misses it, type in caps. Oh, okay. You're talking to the people in your room as far as answering questions go. Yeah, basically, if you're wanting to ask a question, it can blend out with everything else. If it's an important question, type it in all caps, and I can be sure and see it a lot easier. Because usually, I mean, the room will be scrolling like crazy here, and I'll miss a lot of things, and I can't help that. And I've been accused of being in a clique here because I didn't see somebody's message, but the room was rather busy that day, and to my defense, and so somebody got upset and they walked away, and I guess that's their choice, but I can do what I can do. But I do have moderators. That's you, Yamanu. That's the rest of you guys who have been here through the beginning. Y'all are moderators. Y'all are talking to each other and to other people for me and explaining things that you know about as far as our chats go here in the room. But yeah, okay, point one. Someone came up asking me to do a favor for them, and that was to apply my knowledge and wisdom in interviewing other people and creating a show from it and airing it out on my channel to give them advertisement. And then they stepped forward and challenged me as to whether I knew what I was doing in pagan and Wiccan knowledge and wisdom, which is kind of really dumb considering I have a channel here with over 205 shows on it that says that I do know what I'm doing as far as not only being a teacher goes within whatever field I want to teach in, because being a teacher implements the idea that you know how to teach. Okay, but also that I know what I'm doing within paganism. Also challenge me as to where I have been, questioning me how I could have been around for 32 to 34 years and they not have heard of me. Especially since I'm around in the Houston area where they are. And, well, me and my group stayed off to myself. I did not want to go around a lot of functions within paganism until I got sick and felt that I wanted to. And that was opening up new doors in life for myself and wanting to celebrate because I had a death scare. But I don't have to justify this to anyone. And so there was that negativity. There are other people that feel that they're being repressed. Number two, people feel that they're being repressed by going to other groups, feel that they're being challenged in the way that they're lighthearted and airy and want to be so. They're happy-go-lucky and maybe to some degree childlike. Okay, but they get repressed, held back, chastised in that which they do. They feel that they may be being reprimanded. And in that, if they do feel that, then they need to step away from the group for a while, take some airspace, and let these people think about perhaps what they're doing that is making people want to run away from them. In all reality, if you can't handle being around other people that are making you feel this way, and it's preventing you from being the spiritual being that you're wanting to be, then you've got to catch some space. Now, if it's kind of hard for you to step away from that because you're meeting obligations within a covenant or group to obtain the ranks and space that you are obtaining, then you might be forced to wait a while before you can step away. But teachers are teachers. If you're going to be around them and they're going to groom you into the pathway, then you have no choice but to do as they say. And there you end up with a face like Professor McGonagall and Professor Snape that you look at for the next 3 to 6 years or something like that. And in that regard, you just deal. There's no other way around it. How I personally deal with negative people is, it depends on the situation. There are a lot of different situations that can come up where, okay, if I'm locked into, I'm not locked into anything. So I can't answer that for you as far as if you're locked away with things. If I'm dealing with negative people, then I will find a way. I will politely excuse myself. I'll tell them, that I have other things that I have to do. And I do. So I'm not lying about that. I will go in and circle and I will ground out or out into the countryside, sit directly on the ground, hands, palms directly to the ground, and I'll kind of ground out all that negative energy because I don't want it. Also, you can consecrate and charge an amulet that you would wear and that would remind you specifically of this that's going on. You could charge it and carry it with you in reminder of holding your composure, staying spiritual, and kind of go lightly on it. A lot of times you just have to be polite and make your way away. Sometimes you'll tell them, I'm sorry, but I don't feel the same way as you. And you'll have to be blunt, but business-wise. And whenever I'm into a situation where I'm talking to another person, and it's about paganism, and it's a person that's hard-headed, stubborn, or whatnot, and it could tend to be a big challenge if I let it, I will step into business shoes and I'll undertake it in that direction. I'll say, I'm sorry, I don't feel the same way as you. I feel that your knowledge may have some validity to it in this particular situation, but I don't feel that it can apply to all people. You know, and that's how you would just, you would just be honest. But by the same means, neither negative or positive. And that's the thing. I mean, when people are being negative to you already, you don't want to add to the negative fire by being negative back. You typically want to have a neutral energy about you whenever you're addressing this particular scenario, the situation that they're posing for you. I'm sorry. You want to be, neutral in energy. And at least neutral. I mean, you could tend to try to be light and lighten the mode, if there's any way possible, that you can do that. But a lot of times people will leave you no ability to be positive or try to come back positively in this, and they like the last word. No. I mean, in all reality, you've got to realize, though, that our religion has, from the beginning, been accused of being negative, evil, that which must die, the boil on the butt of society, as it is. We have been accused of so many different things. And, this is going to happen, and it's not right. There's no way that this should be going on. And this is one way that we do need each other so that we could let out our feelings and and it's kind of a negative topic, but it's one that obviously has to be discussed, with other people that are similar to yourself, and hopefully one day with people in high-ranking places that would help us on our spiritual pathways in the long run. But it's hard to find that. It's hard to find people within the political arenas as corrupt as politics is in most places. We get accused of being corrupt, but that's, the way it is. There's no way that we can change the whole of society. We can create, mold our surroundings for ourselves to try to make it happier. But as we go through our daily lives, we're going to be faced with these negatives that are going to make us feel down, depressed, and even less than human at times. But we don't let this get to us. We never have, and if we had, then our religion would have been snuffed out while it was still underground, so to speak, for the centuries that it was. But we were fighters. We were people that could step forward and say, we're not going to take this anymore. And we came up and we said, this is who we are. We're here. Get over it. The same as people within homosexuality. That is their right to be who they are. People can't take that away from them. They were strong enough to come forward and say, we want these rights. And they acquired some of them and are still fighting it. But unfortunately, people force you to fight your way through life no matter who you are. It breaks my heart to see the world as it is. But we got to do our best, right? We absolutely do. And unfortunately, and it was the main topic today, were paganisms, people within pagan pathways repressing you or making you feel less than what you are. And this is sad because really we ourselves know. Hey, everybody that's joining us now. Amanda, Jennifer, it's good to see you again. Welcome back, Mitch. If you were gone, I didn't hear from you for a while. But hi back to all of you. Anyway, the fact of the matter is in society, we're going to be forced to fight, no matter who we are, for whatever we need. And it's about division right now, I guess. Like Yamanu says, people are trying to identify, categorize, label, and I don't believe in a lot of tags and titles. And when people start imposing those is where it gets a little bit edgy, you know? Tags and titles, we need them to some degree to point out what a computer is, to point out what a TV is. You know, we need tags and titles for this kind of thing. But as far as spirituality is concerned, I'm an eclectic spiritualist. As a matter of fact, the same people that challenged me recently or made me feel challenged asked me what my pathway was, and I said, I'm an eclectic spiritualist. That's what I identify with, because I'm neither Wicca, witch, Christian, shaman, druid, Buddhist. I am none of these, but I am all of these. I identify with all of these. Why? Because I have studied a great deal of these, and I have people that are coming to me for the knowledge and wisdom on these subjects, and I teach as much of them as I possibly can where I have the knowledge and wisdom of it. And that's what I am supposed to do as a teacher. Now, do I know everything? No, nobody possibly can, and that is why we come back time and again to learn the lessons that we do. You know, and we will be coming back life after life until we get it right, until we have enough knowledge and wisdom to where we can join in being part of the God system, is the way that I look at it. You know, and I feel that I'm on the right path for me. Now, I don't impose my will, my thoughts, ideas on everybody. I do convey them. And people take from them what they will and they leave what they won't. We're not all exactly the same within our belief system. But the knowledge and wise people are the same ones that come here week after week or have been a part of my show year after year and still keep coming back, because not that they agree with everything that I say, but because they are able to take some of what I say and make it a part of them and weed out wisely what doesn't resonate with them. And that's what this is supposed to be about, isn't it? Coming to be at one with other people that are like ourselves, that we can resonate with on a general level to the best degree we possibly can, not trying to make it complex for them, but we resonate with them to a large degree, and we share ideas that may differ from each one of us. You know, we all have different ideas, and we could learn, we could expand on that which we know, although we may not feel at one with everything that a person's saying. I agree with what you're trying to do, and likewise exchange information and nurture growth for all involved. I really do. I try to nurture everyone on the path that they're on. I teach first and foremost that you are who you are, and if you're not able to dwell within your religion throughout your eternity, then you are not happy there and there is something wrong. Make your own spirituality you. Make it something that you can be a part of and be happy in. Otherwise, you're going to be changing it like socks. Ignorance is the true root of evil and hate in this world, and that's true. And that is what fans people's fires, is their inability to understand other people, but yet they do not draw out a book, or they do not turn on a video, or they do not take in the words that someone is trying to convey to them that would help explain that and convey what something is about and extend to them the knowledge and wisdom that they desperately need and don't know it or refuse to get. And that's the truth of it. The fact of the matter is that we are to be the wise ones within paganism. We profess to be the wise ones, or of the oldest wise religion. If this is the case, then we won't do what other people are doing, and that's the Christians judging trying and condemning people before actually hearing them out. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying a good deal of them, although I'm not saying all of them. People judge, trying, and condemning before they actually know what you're about. We, as pagans, are not supposed to be doing that to our own, but I do find that a lot of pagans, and I run a show where I listen to and talk to 7,000 people, okay? That's 5,000 people on this channel and 2,000 people on my other channel. 7,000 people combined. Hi, Drew. How are you doing? I listen, convey, and talk to 7,000 people about paganism. And I know, I mean, to a large degree, what people are made of in this. You have pagans that are trolling me more than what I have Christians do on this show. And that's because they're like, nope, good, evil, light, dark, that's a Christian-made concept, and in the old days, you know, no. Okay, well, it is a Christian-made concept, but Wicca actually came after Christianity, and therefore, and even though witchcraft came before it, okay, but even still, a lot of Christian ideas and concepts bled over into our way of being throughout time. And so even if it did not exist at one point in time, it does exist today. I mean, and that's the fact. So we change, we evolve. As a matter of fact, I was going through the 13 principalities of Wicca yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was going to do a video on it. And to me, it's so backdated. I mean, there's a lot of valid things in it. But a lot of people quit listening to that because the pathways have changed. Times have changed. And I can't say that everything within the 13 principalities or the 13 principles of Wicca resonate with me at this day and age. You know, I feel that we do need guidelines that a lot of people could listen to or adhere to on a general level to some degree. But I feel that people would corrupt those as rules and regulations. And our religion is supposed to be more an idea of freedom and being able to do what you feel is right for you at the time. And again, that's why we get away from Christianity, is because we feel repressed, we feel condemned and judged. We feel that people are trying to pigeonhole us into one set of ideas, rules, and regulations, and they scare the crap out of us by thoughts of, if we don't follow every single thing to the letter, we're going to burn in a lake of fire and brimstone throughout eternity. And I've already done the burning thing, and I'm not going to do it again. You know, fact of the matter is that you have to be you. We get into paganism so that we can be happy and not let other judge us. But I'm finding now more and more that in paganism, people are telling you it has to be this way. You have to do things like this. There's no other way around it. And I'm like, okay, when did I join the Christian ranks and beliefs? You know, and that's a very, very important here. And I am not against Christianity. I'm actually a non-denominational Christian ministress. But I joined the witchcraft pathways 32 to 34 years ago because I knew that there was more out there. I knew there was freedom. I knew there was hope to find happiness in something. And my spirituality is going to be contingent on being able to laugh and celebrate and be festive and merry. Not about following a set of hard, stone cold rules that if I fall out of line on, I fall to the river of crocodiles which rests just below me. You know, I'm not going to walk on eggshells. And, you know, people within paganism are generally lighthearted and airy. But these days, there's so much that's pressing on around people to where they're getting more intense and edgy. Okay? And stubbornity and bullheadedness, pride is starting to overtake to a large degree, and that's upsetting to me. It really is. I am a prideful person, but not so overly prideful that I think that my way is the only way. And not so overly prideful that I feel that if people don't do things this way, that I'm just not going to talk to them anymore. I mean, I think that's just stupidity, you know. For Black says, makes sense, LL. It seems that these issues occur when spiritually becoming doctrinized and deemed a religion. Exactly. And that is where I like to draw the distinguishing lines between what is religion and what is spirituality. Now, here on the show, you may hear me call certain spiritual pathways religious or religion or whatever, but I don't mean that. I mean, that's just a word to me. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that witchcraft is more a way of life. You know, not even really spiritual so much and not even religion so much. But witchcraft to me is just a thing. It's a way of life. It's that which you do every day on a daily level. You live it. It's who you are. Okay, Wicca, I believe, is a spiritual pathway and not a religious one. A spiritual pathway in which you fly by the seat of the pants, you be happy, you set up your altar, you do the things you want to do and in the way you feel them. And religion, I feel, is more your stone cold doctrine that you live by day in and day out, and it's not me. I am not a religious person. I am a spiritual or fly by the seat of the pants one. Why Llewellyn? I don't understand the question here. Was there some reference to Llewellyn? I'm lost. Lost on the text, as it were, that is. Llewellyn. Why Llewellyn? Please improve on the question here. Many witches blame Llewellyn. That's a good question. Why Llewellyn? I mean, Llewellyn was one of the 73 people that came forward in 1974, April 1974, to put forth a set of ideas and concepts to convey the 13 principles of Wicca. They called it witchcraft at the time, but Wicca, at which hopefully many people within the different various paths and traditions would fall under and actually partake of. But Llewellyn was one of them. Let's see. But I don't understand. Actually, Llewellyn was the one that brought these people together, if I remember right. But brought together all of the people that would make the 73 people in the spring of 1974, which would create and put forward the 13 principles of Wicca, and make it a part of or a cornerstone actually, of our society today. Although I feel that to a large degree, these rules and ideas, and I say rules, but I mean, isn't it kind of outlined as that? Anyway, this set of ideas and principles, you know, are kind of outlived because there are so many different pathways that have been born since, and some of those pathways even contradict each other as to what is, could be, should be, would be, etc. My first book was Complete Idiot's Guide to Wicca and Witchcraft, LOLs. It's really good despite its title. Yes, I believe it. This is a good book. So is Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. There's a lot of old ones that still hold good there. However, there is a lot of newer, updated books that could be read, and people should really look into those. And I've been meaning to do a video on good authors, but haven't got around to it. You know, Christopher Penzac is one of the newer writers today that a lot of people adhere to, and you hear his name everywhere. From Gay Witchcraft to the Temple of Light, you know, there are a lot of good books that he has. Scott Cunningham is a good author, and one that a lot of you should really read. He's a good eclectic author of books. Let's see. Maybe book industries cause people to read for knowledge and go buy the book, so to speak. I'm guessing. I just know Llewellyn to be a book publishing company. They are one of the biggest today, and they were the biggest in 1974. They really were. And so much so that even on the Charmed series, the show Charmed, they even used Llewellyn as the company that Prudence Hallowell worked at, you know, to add a little bit of true mystique to it, which really has no truth to it whatsoever. I guess it does to the degree of being a big company, but that's about it. Silver Ravenwolf gets a lot of negative flack, yes, but you've got to realize that Silver Ravenwolf chose to put out there too intently some of the ideas that she has that could write against other religions, and in sort of a, you know, this is bad type way. And so I really don't say anything one way or another about Silver. I feel that some will like her and some will hate her, you know. Either way, you know, basically, you know, books of today, there is a lot of really good ones to choose from, but, you know, I like to stay with, I don't know, a lot of the old authors, really do, because that was the beginning, and maybe it's out of nostalgia. However, I feel also that the need of reading newer, more updated books is also likewise important, because your knowledge and wisdom can become very stagnant, very old, and there are new things that are happening today that are not reflected in the books of old. You know, in the spring of 1974, they created the Witches' 13 Principles, or the Wiccan 13 Principles, you know, but do these really hold for all religious spiritual pathways within Wicca anymore? You know, I don't feel that they do. Not all of them anyway. And I think if they're going to keep bringing them up, if they're going to keep it as a part of who we are and teach it within Wicca, witchcraft, paganism on a general level, then they ought to improve on them. They ought to revise them. Otherwise, leave them alone, because there are so many different people on so many different pathways and believe so many different ways within those pathways that it really can't hold water so much anymore. It's almost like they don't want you to find your path, but they don't want you to find yourself within that path. I think that a lot of people within spirituality like to gear things, and I'm actually, let's be more specific about this. People within religion or within high places politically would like to gear religion into their benefit, which was to always control. Control. That was the name of the game in the oldest days, you know. And by the oldest days, I'm not talking about Carnuna, Sheila, and the Gig days, cave wall writing days, Ooga Booga. I'm talking about within the realm of, you know, Catholicism having its field day and bitch slapping us around in the time that it did. You know, from then forward, you know, it was always a matter of keeping us and all other people within spiritual pathways geared to a certain direction, to be controlled, to stay under control of the political arena of things. It was good being at one with you. How do you pronounce that? Masha? Maisha? Maicha? Maichamun? How do you pronounce that? Anyway, let's see. Right, Yamanu? Be well. I guess I don't have to pronounce it if I were just typing like you guys, but I could find myself in a very embarrassing situation since I am verbalizing here. And so it's good to just nip this in the bud. Get it out of the way. Okay, Maisha, is that like, is the E pronounced like an I? You got to realize I study other languages such as in Japanese and Spanish right now. So this could be very hard for me. Manda Moonflower. Let's see. It sounds either Gaelic or Russian. Maisha? Tell me, is that correct? Maisha. Everybody's trying to teach the teacher how to pronounce one word. Maisha. Okay, got it. Got it. Good. And it was good that you could be with us for the time you were, Maisha. You be good and stay positive on your light way. Don't let people step on your toes or tell you how to live within your spirituality. Okay? Anyway, everybody, yes, just be positive. Stay positive. If people are stepping on your foot, you know, in spirituality, you've got to step away from them. Just always be positive. Don't add negative to negativity or fuel to that fire. I mean, it's just unnecessary and unwanted, and it would further ruin your day. Just be you, and always, you know, be true. Be honest, but either be very positive when you're making your way away, or just tell them how it is and step into business shoes, the gray side of the self, and say, you know, I hear you and I understand what you're saying. I can't say that I fully believe in what you're saying for myself. Can't feel, you know, that I resonate with all of it, but you know, if it makes you feel happy, then by all means. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go. And that is basically how you would convey what you've got to say to these people. You know, but always be true to yourself. Be true to your gods and goddesses. Put yourself in a spiritual place. And that is my all-time favorite saying. And I have several of them. But my all-time favorite saying is, this is my spiritual space. And I love my spiritual space to be the spiritual place that I want it to be. And if at any time it is anything other than spirituality, then I do something about it. Spirituality in its lightest form, then I do something about it. And that's the way you have to be, because life is too short to, you know, be controlled by other people, be made to be repressed when you want to feel light and happy. You know, you've just got to find your own space. Anyway, does anybody have anything that they would like to add to any of today's topic? Yamanu. Maisha Moon. Maisha Moon. Maisha Moon. Anyway, anybody have anything that they would like to add to today's topic? The room just stopped moving at all. Like totally nothing. All right, well, I guess we will call it a day, and I hope that y'all enjoyed today's topic. I really did. Stay positive in your daily walk, and be good. Find your own space whenever things get too chaotic or hectic for you. Don't let what people in today's society say pull you down to nothing, because then you're not being the strong and powerful source that you're meant to be. I'm glad that you liked it, Amira. We need a spiritual room tour. What do you mean? A spiritual room tour? I don't understand. Let's see. A spiritual room tour. And what would that consist of? We use them like a mantra. The spiritual room tour? Okay. Anyway, I'm getting a little confused and we're getting a little scattered in our topic now. Healthy thoughts, healthy thoughts. Always, always healthy thoughts, Brian. If they're not healthy, then they're not constructive. You know, thoughts of positivity for the world and hopes that our government will pull their head out of their ass, in the American government or in any other government for that matter. Let's see, in positivity, always try to be a positive source for the people that are around you, no matter how much negative other people are trying to be for you. One good turn doesn't always deserve another whenever we're talking about in the negative array of things. People do try to control us too much. We would find it a degradation of who we are to try to degrade others. All right? I love you guys, and let's meet again Sunday at 10:30. You take care of yourself, and brightest blessings, everyone. Bye-bye.